The late 19th century saw the rise of Zionism, a movement advocating for a Jewish homeland in Palestine. This land held deep religious significance for Jews worldwide. However, Palestine was then part of the Ottoman Empire, with a large Arab population. Tensions grew as Jewish immigration increased, fueled by persecution in Europe. Arabs felt their homeland slipping away, fearing displacement by these newcomers. The seeds of conflict were sown, a clash between two peoples claiming the same land. Early Zionist settlers, driven by ideology, purchased land and established agricultural communities. They envisioned a modern, thriving Jewish state. However, their arrival brought economic and social changes, further unsettling the Arab population. Clashes erupted, often over land or resources, foreshadowing the violence to come. The Ottoman Empire struggled to maintain control, caught between these competing claims. A complex web of resentment and mistrust was already in place by the turn of the century. World War I brought upheaval and opportunity. In 1917, seeking Jewish support for the war effort, Britain issued the Balfour Declaration. This document expressed support for a Jewish national home in Palestine. It was a watershed moment, recognizing Zionist aspirations on an international stage. However, the declaration also emphasized safeguarding the rights of existing non-Jewish communities. This crucial caveat, often overlooked, would prove immensely significant in the decades to come. The Balfour Declaration ignited hope for Jews and alarm for Arabs. Jewish immigration surged. Arabs, feeling betrayed by their Ottoman rulers and wary of British intentions, grew increasingly apprehensive. The British, now administering Palestine under a League of Nations mandate, faced the daunting task of balancing these competing claims. Violence escalated, with both sides feeling their future was at stake. The Balfour Declaration, while seemingly a step towards a resolution, instead fueled the flames of conflict. Following World War II and the Holocaust, international sympathy for a Jewish homeland reached its peak. In 1947, the United Nations voted to partition Palestine into two states, one Jewish and one Arab. This plan, while imperfect, offered a potential solution. However, it was met with mixed reactions. While Jewish leaders accepted the partition, Arab leaders rejected it outright, viewing it as unjust and illegitimate. The stage was set for a bloody confrontation. In May 1948, Israel declared independence. Neighboring Arab states immediately attacked, seeking to prevent the establishment of a Jewish state. The ensuing war resulted in a decisive Israeli victory and a catastrophic defeat for the Palestinians. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians fled or were expelled from their homes, becoming refugees in neighboring countries. This mass displacement, known as the Nakba, or catastrophe by Palestinians, remains a deeply traumatic event and a major obstacle to peace. Decades of discord, from war to intifada. The decades following Israel's creation were marked by recurring conflict and failed peace attempts. The 1967 Six-Day War resulted in Israel capturing the West Bank, Gaza Strip, and East Jerusalem. This victory entrenched Palestinian displacement and fueled resentment. The occupied territories became a major point of contention. The late 1980s witnessed the First Intifada, a Palestinian uprising against Israeli occupation. The Oslo Accords in the 1990s offered hope, but ultimately faltered. Obstacles to peace, settlements, refugees, and Jerusalem. Numerous obstacles continue to impede peace. Israeli settlements in occupied territories are a major sticking point. These settlements are seen by Palestinians as encroaching on future state land. Jerusalem, holy to both Jews and Muslims, is another sensitive issue. The plight of Palestinian refugees is a major obstacle to reconciliation. Security concerns and Palestinian statehood further complicate peace efforts. An uncertain future. The quest for a lasting solution. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict remains one of the world's most intractable conflicts. The situation is characterized by a fragile status quo, punctuated by periodic outbreaks of violence. The two-state solution appears increasingly distant. The expansion of Israeli settlements, the lack of a unified Palestinian leadership, and the rise of extremism make a negotiated settlement seem distant. The international community calls for peace talks. Achieving a lasting solution requires immense political will and compromise. The human cost of this conflict is immeasurable. Generations have grown up amidst violence and instability. The quest for peace remains elusive but urgent.